Hey you guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be a pretty fun idea to pull out some questions. I went online and looked for some of the most common questions that people ask someone who is visually impaired, and I pulled out 6 questions that I definitely think I can relate to, that I have definitely been asked at some point. And so I will be enlightening you guys with my answers on these questions. So yeah, I hope you like this video, and here we go. What is your condition called and how much can you see? This is typically the first question a lot of people ask when they notice that I have a visual impairment. So my condition is called Leber's congenital amaurosis. I was diagnosed when I was 6 months old, so this is a visual disability that I've had for as long as I can remember. Like, I really don't know anything other than what I can and can't see. That's pretty much been my life forever. I do know that based on my exams, there has been like a decrease in vision over the years, although it's so gradual that I haven't even noticed it, but there definitely is like peripheral vision loss, and that's basically my condition. Is like I have no peripheral vision at all. I can only see whatever is directly in front of me, like sort of like tunnel vision. And the other, I guess, would be like distance. I'm not too good with distance, but that doesn't mean that I see blurry. A lot of people think that I see like really blurry, and that's definitely not the case. I am able to see color, although I do tend to confuse, like, you know, the basics like pink and dark yellow, or red and orange, blue and green. So that's when I usually need someone who is sighted to, like, you know, clarify what those colors are. But in general, I'm pretty good at like seeing color and distinguishing and seeing people's faces and hair color, skin color, things like that. So yeah, I do see a little bit, but my peripheral vision is not present at all. Next question, how do you manage to use technology? So I know a lot of blind people or people who are visually impaired love to use voiceover on their phones. I personally hate voiceover. I've never been able to adjust to it. What I do on my phone is I just have like this magnifier that my brother installed, and basically you tap the screen 3 times and it makes it bigger, and then you are able, with your fingers, like, you're able to control the size of the screen, how large you want things to be, and then you just move it around. So that's how I manipulate my phone, because since I do see, I like to read everything, you know, my messages, I like to be reading them. If I look for something on YouTube, I like to type it and read it. I like to see my keyboard. So there are certain accommodations that I do have. Like, for example, my keyboard, I made it, the font, the letters are white on black. So usually when I read, I prefer the font to be white and the background to be black, because if the background is like, you know, the classic white and then black font on it, then it really hurts my head. I tend to get really bad headaches when I read black font on white background for some reason. I don't know if it's like the clarity, I don't know, but I usually invert the colors on everything. I do have another video that I will leave in the description box where I show you guys my magnifiers and my machines that I use, like, to be able to read and stuff, and there I show you guys like how I invert the colors and how I accommodate them size wise and everything. So yeah, I think it would be interesting. I'll leave it. If you guys want to watch that video, you're more than welcome to go and watch it. It's a really fun little video that I made to show you guys how that works for me. Question number 3, what is the right way to guide someone who is blind or visually impaired? Okay, so in my case, letting the blind person hold on to your elbow, that is typically what I do with all of my friends. I know a lot of times people don't know how to do it, so like they try to hold on to my arm and like guide me from my arm, and it's really, I don't like that at all, because then it's like I kind of lose the perception of where you're going. The whole point of holding someone's elbow is like to kind of feel out where they're going. If they step, like if you feel that their arm goes down, then you know that that's a step down, and if you feel their arm go a little bit up, then that means that, you know, there's a step up, things like that. Like, that's how I do it with my friends. It makes it so much easier, because basically it's my hand telling me like where they're going, and I'm able to follow along wherever it is they're going. However, when somebody holds my arm, I lose that perception, because I don't know where they're going, and, you know, I just feel their hand on me, but I don't know where they're taking me, so that makes it super uncomfortable. If if I were to inform someone of what is the right way to guide a blind person, let the person hold your elbow or your arm, and that works perfectly. Number 4. This is a question I used to get a lot. Well, this is like a more of an indirect question. I used to get this a lot back in high school. For example, like when somebody wanted to ask me a question and they didn't know if I could speak or not, so like they would ask the teacher like, oh, is it okay if I ask her in person? Like, can she speak? Would she be able to tell me? Things like that. So, and I would just be there like, oh my God. Well, I'm standing in front of a camera speaking to you guys, so I guess I can speak, right? So yeah, that's my answer. As long as you approach someone and like make it clear that you're there. I hate when people do hand gestures because I don't see them. So like, if you're gonna speak to me, make sure that I know you're in front like of my face and you're like, hey, I have a question for you. And then, you know, it's clear that I'm talking to you and not someone else. One thing is verbal communication and the other one is like your eyes. That has nothing to do with one another. So yes, we can speak, guys. We are verbal communicators. Question number 5. Okay. Are your friends also blind? This applies to dating and friendships. I've been asked this so many times. We're like, oh, your friends are also blind, right? Or if I'm talking about a guy that I'm dating, oh, well, he's also blind, right? Or is he also blind? Like, always around that scenario. I don't know about other people. I know this is a personal question. Some people may feel more comfortable, or they might just, you know, just so happen to have blind friends or blind partners. I don't know. In my case, not at all. I feel like I have maybe like 2 or 3 friends that are blind, and then all the rest of my friends are sighted. I'm typically the only blind one in the group just because, you know, all of them are pretty much sighted, and when we do things together, like when we go out to places, I'm usually the blind one. So yeah, in my case, it's the other way around. I am the weird one and they are all sighted, and they have all had to adapt to me. So it's pretty cool, I would say. I think it's fun. Oh, and dating wise, I have never dated someone who's blind like me. So all of my like past dating experiences have been with guys who are completely sighted, who can drive. The last question that I have for you guys is very fun. How do blind people eat? I feel like I've heard this question so many times. I've never been asked it personally. But the way I would say, I mean, we eat just like anyone else eats. Now, my insight into that question is like, I'm assuming that people refer to something more detailed, like how do you do it if like you have to cut something, like cutting meat, or when it comes to like more sophisticated meals. In that case, I do need help. Like if, for example, they serve a chicken breast on a bone, then I would like ask one of my friends to cut it up for me, or just like cut it up into pieces and take out the bone because I obviously can't see it. So in general, that's pretty much all I need. Or like if the lighting is too dark, I've said this before on my other videos, where if lighting is really dim, I can't see anything. Like I go completely blind because I depend heavily on light perception. So yeah, if like the light is really dim, then I would need help in like cutting meat or things like that. My mom took me to an etiquette course when I was younger, so I learned a lot. The teacher was really cool. She taught me how to cut, she taught me how to like eat properly. So like proper eating is actually one of my priorities when I go out, especially when I'm in public. In my house, I don't care, but when I'm in public, and I know there's gonna be like people that I'm not comfortable with or that I don't know well, I really make sure to eat properly. Let's see. I know I've seen like blind people before, other visually impaired people, and like that they, for example, like they'll stick their faces into the bowl, and like I guess they do it as a way to see food better. Everybody's different. I don't do that. I personally don't like to do that, especially at restaurants. Like I really rely on my silverware to eat, and if I feel like I need help with something, like cutting something up, I will ask somebody who's with me who is sighted, so that I can make sure that I eat properly, you know, with just my fork, but that I make sure I'm eating, you know, without like getting my hands or my face into my food. Unless it's finger food, obviously that's a different story, then it doesn't really matter because like it's finger food. But when it comes to like, yeah, like a regular meal, then yeah, my parents taught me to eat by taking me to that course, and they were really strict with me when I was young, so like they taught me to eat properly. And that is all I have for you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it fun. Let me know if you have any other questions. I hope you guys like my blind videos. I hope you learned a little bit more about how blindness is like and my experience with it. I will see you guys soon. Hopefully keep enjoying quarantine, even though I know it's hard because it sucks. I'm sick of it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you stuck with me for this long, I really appreciate you. If you are new to my channel, you're welcome to subscribe, same as always, and I will leave my Instagram if you want to follow me on there in the description. Bye!